Hello everyone, I'm Tome300 and welcome back to Stormworks. So sorry it's been a little while since my last video. I've been a bit busy trying to work out modular engines and logic, and yeah, it's taken me a few days to really get my head around it. Still not completely there to be honest, but nearly am. I've managed to get a modular engine working, we're doing some test work. So let's jump into the workbench. Let's come out of photo mode. I'll show you what I've been doing. So here we've got the modular engine, but first of all let's just go to load up. So I've been doing some tests. I've been just keep testing and trying to get things work. Basically I built a truck and I couldn't start it. It's got a modular engine in it, but I just can't get it to drive. I could with a normal engine, well, sort of, it just wheel span everywhere, but anyway, that's another story. So I've decided to get into modular engines, do some testing. So this is what I did first, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank another YouTuber, 454SS Gaming. His videos have really helped me. There will be some similarities here because I've got some of my ideas from him, and yeah, it's really helped me out just to get my head around how the logic works really in the game as well. So, I mean, I know how engines work. I did mechanics at college, so I do understand that. So this is just a small engine. This isn't the modular version. This is what I started with, just to get my head around just the logic. So if we have a look at the microcontroller. Now, we've got a key switch that's sending a signal. So once we turn the key, that sends instead of a constant signal, it just pulses a signal into the capacitor, which then discharges over a second, which turns our starter motor on. Because if we just went all the way to there, it would just constantly be turning the starter motor, or trying to anyway. So that's fine. Then we've got the throttle I wanted to do from the seat. Now I liked the starter rib that they've got in Stormworks, as in you just press W and S. You don't have to. You've got an option of using a throttle lever, but you don't have to. So the W and S, which is obviously default for so many games, as throttle. So that's what we've done. We've set it as WS on the seat, going into a greater than or a less than. We've got an up-down counter, and there's the settings there. This is exactly what 454 had on his one, so we've copied the settings and used that. Thank you again. Into a numerical switch box, and then a throttle out to simple engines, as it says on there. This is so I don't try and put it onto a modular engine because it won't work on that. So this works. If we spawn it in, it's a different version of what I've already got on my existing boats. I'm using the capacitor on that actually for the starter, but this is a different way of doing it, so I quite like it. So yeah, we can start up. You can see we've got the gauge display. That's the throttle up and down. The red line is the clutch, which is controlled by this lever or button 1 and 2. So if you see, we press, let's put the foil up a bit. We press 1, we can slowly engage the clutch, and the propeller starts to spin. You can also see that going up and down by pressing 1 and 2 on the clutch. So let's turn that off. So then my challenge was the modular engine. How do I get that working? So it's a similar setup. Sorry, my controls have gone a bit crazy on me there. Yeah, it's a similar setup on here. I mean, I know I don't really need these manifolds, I was just playing around with them, see what they look like. So we've got a 4-cylinder engine. I just built it as a 4-cylinder just to start off. I don't think it's quite powerful enough, but we'll get into that in a little while. We've got the radiator, it's the electric radiator, and obviously the seat, the controls, all like we did before. We've got a button that switches it into reverse, and the microcontroller. These are what I've been struggling with, microcontrollers. So as you can see, we've got an air-fuel ratio which we can play around with and see how it runs. I'll leave it on 2 for now. When we go in, again, I've got this from 454 SS Gaming. It's the way he does it, and it seems to work quite well. Although when I tried starting it, it didn't work because somehow my settings have been reset on the up-down counter. So you do have to be careful with settings. They can be a bit temperamental if they're not quite right. So I've also added on a constant on signal going into an AND block, or whatever you want to call it. So when the key is turned, both of these signals will output and the radiator fan will come on. I just thought it was a neat little way of doing the electric radiator, and also it's a way of me experimenting with different sort of logic, because I am new to all this, and yeah, I'm trying to get my head around it all. So we've got a property slider, so that's what's given us our air to fuel ratio. So literally you're just setting the settings that you want to see on the slider. So you see when I slid it up and down, it went from 0.5 to 4. So that's the 0.5 to 4. You could have this as whatever you want. It could be 0.1 to 6, for example. It's rounding in 0.1. Value 2. I'm not sure what the value is. Or maybe that's... Yeah, I'm not sure what the actual value does. That's what it's being multiplied by, isn't it? In here. So send in... Let's multiply in this signal though. Anyhow, so it's just some settings to play around with. So when we spawn this in again, we can update it because I've just changed those settings slightly. And as you see now, you've got 0.1 to 6. So you've got a lot bigger scope to play around with it. I don't think they're going to work, but it's just a bit of experimenting really. Let's try it down on 1.5. So we'll spawn that in. I know it works on 2, not sure on 1.5. Let's give it a go. No, we don't want to engage the clutch. Yeah, so it didn't like that. Let's put it back on to 2. I think that must be the value in the logic block. It just starts on 2 and then you can change it. So we'll spawn that back in again. And it starts up. So it's really important to get the air-fuel mixture right. Obviously it goes up and down. We want to engage the clutch. You can see the propeller spinning. We can hold down use 1 and 2 keys to go up and down. One thing I've noticed that so if I fully engage the clutch now, and it's running lovely. If I keep accelerating with W throttle, what starts to happen is the engine starts to die. So it's getting we're getting too much fuel, we're too rich, or we're getting too much air. Seems to be optimal around here somewhere, so it looks like we can play around with the settings a bit. Obviously that would have put it in reverse, which we're not going to do now. So yeah, I've got a working modular engine. I don't know if it's like running out of power at the top end, maybe, because it's only a 4-cylinder. Maybe we need to add some more cylinders to it. I suppose that's something we can experiment with. So that'd be quite easy to do, actually. So if I remove those out of the way, we could add a couple more cylinders on. Notice how it rotates. If you point it on the sort of grey part, the light grey part, it will automatically go the right way round. So now we've got an extra 2 cylinders. In theory, that's given us 50% more power. So let's just add the manifolds. Because now we need to join these together, because we're on a different sort of bank on the engine. And let's see if it starts. What I'm planning to do is to put a modular engine in my boat, so this is why I'm doing all this testing now. Start her up, engage some clutch. Clutch fully engaged, throttle up. So we're still dying. Okay, so something is not quite right in our settings. Maybe it is our air-fuel mixture. Now we could experiment with this. We could go 2.2. Okay, it still starts. We're still dying off. I wonder if we bring the clutch back. You can actually visually see the air-fuel ratio. So that's giving us an air-fuel ratio of 15.1. Higher revs, we are spooling out. Now I wonder if it's the fluid's fault, not giving it enough air. That could also be an issue. I'm going to try replacing it with an air filter. Or an air ram. Shouldn't really make too much difference, but let's try it. In fact, let's return the AFR to 2. us to fully rev the engine. So you can see the top value, we can't really get it above 0.6. Even without the clutch. I think it must be something to do with the air-fuel ratio, or maybe something to do with the stoichiometric. I don't even know how you say that word. Anyhow, so we've still got some testing to do on this to get it working right. A bit more research needed, I think. So yeah, that's what I've been up to with that. I've also, let's just jump into the boat. Let's despawn this. Now we can no clipping at the moment because we're not in the career mode at the moment, just because I don't want to waste fuel on testing. I can hear a dog. Sometimes he jumps into the water. I don't know, he's around here somewhere. So if I load up my boat. So I've been doing a little bit of testing with this stabilisation on the boat as well. And let's just spawn it in and take it out for a quick spin. This little fin I've added at the bottom definitely does help. Hang on, we don't want to stall it. We have. So yeah, this doesn't use the W&S at the moment. So that's added some stability, because without it we were getting a lot more roll. But the boat feels a little bit sluggish. So I think we can remove some of it. In fact, what I'm actually thinking is to remove all of it. And maybe add some more stabilisation rudders or fins. So if we look at rudders, in fact, so let's take the boat out as it is. You can see the difference then of what removing those fins do. So you can see we've got a lot more roll without them. see our RPS, somewhere we've got speedo. There we go. Hang on. So it's just over 15 meters a second, 15 and a half maybe. Return to the workshop or the workbench. So if we add, we've got two different types we can use here. But let's load our boat back as it was. And I think maybe just remove the bottom row. So one thing I'm going to do is add in some rudders. I'm just seeing where they're going to fit in. The back shape of this boat is not very helpful. Okay, so when you're placing these, if you do it in symmetry mode, they're going to reverse each other, so just be careful. Otherwise one will be going up and one will be going down. But you can easily check just looking for the arrows. You've got plus at the top, and in fact that is the same. Maybe it's just for when you're placing them that way around. There's not really anywhere I can place it. So if I placed one there and one on the other side, you can see the plus and minuses are opposite. So they're going to turn in opposite directions. So just be careful if you're placing them. But if I use the rudders there, then we've got to fill in the back of the boat because we don't want to sink. Now we're just filling this in like this for testing at the moment. So already that feels more stable. Well, I don't know actually, but it is. Ah, see, now we need to add some sort of logic to that so it stabilises itself. So what are our options for that? What have we got in here? Anything? Propulsion. Logic displays maybe? Anything? No, sensors. Okay, here we are. So we've got an altimeter, angular speed sensor. I think an altimeter is the way to do it. Just reading what else is on here. physics sensor, linear speed, a tilt sensor. Outputs distance above sea level in meters. So that, I think this would be more for a plane. Let's go for the altimeter. So let's place them above sea level. So we want these to be above the sea level. But it'd be good to have one on either side. So I don't know, I'm not sure I'll keep them in here, but for now, let's try them in here. So it should measure as the boat tilts left and right, like the vole. I don't know if we can go ahead and just hook these straight up. Do they require power? I can't see them anywhere, so I'm guessing not. Let's just see if that makes any difference. The thing is, they might be running constantly, draining the batteries. You know, as the boat rocks. Probably not in this weather, but. Whoa, where are we going? Up in the air. Okay, so that's. I'm not sure what's happened here. Let's just reduce the throttle down. Okay, so they're obviously tipping the boat completely up in the air. They're doing the opposite to what they're meant to be doing, so they might be the wrong way around. Now that's either where I need some sort of settings on the sensors, which doesn't look like they do have any because they're not there. These are just lights. What do we need to rotate the rudders? Let's try them the other way around. So okay, the plus is now at the bottom. Let's hook them up to the battery. Try that again. Okay, that's better. That's keeping the nose down rather than up. What about when we turn? Can you see what they're doing? I'm not sure they're actually doing anything. Engaging the clutch. They don't actually appear to be doing anything, so just trying to work out where we are. I know where we are. So there's our base. So it looks like we might have to build a microcontroller to control these as well. So these are just a few of the things I've been up to in my testing. I think the more testing you do, the better your boat will be, or whatever vehicle you're making, so definitely worth testing. B, no, hang on, F, then B, that's it, before we crash. So what I'll do is I'll load back our original vehicle. Remember, you can save it and just reload your vehicle. Always have a backup though. So we're back to this design, and I think I'm ready to put the modular engine in, which will mean deleting all of this. All the yellow pipes there are fuel systems. So we're still going to need fuel, so let's just leave that. Leave that there for now. We've got our coolant, there's the blue ones, which of course we're going to need still. And the black is our exhaust, which again we're going to need. Now I'm not going to, I wonder if we can go to one engine. We don't need those generators because they're for the other type of engine, or the clutch. We're still going to need gearboxes. So let's go for one engine. Let's type in mod for modular. We're going to need crankshaft, cylinders, we're going to need all of this, but let's just get some sort of order. Let's put the clutch there. Yep, the drive, belt system, we're going to need a radiator, possibly manifolds and all of these other things. Catalytic converters could be useful as well, reduce the smoke. Okay, let's start with the crankshafts. So if we're going to have one engine, there's not a huge amount of space, but 3, but we could go on the side and make it into a V6, or I think it needs to be bigger in a boat, like a V8 at least. Let's delete some of this. Okay, let's build a V8 for the boat. Well, sort of a V, isn't it? Could be if I put them on all of it. So I'm not sure if that is actually going to be powerful enough for this boat, but let's try it. Drive belt on the end. Well, I really want the power to come out of this end. So we'll put the clutch to that end. Now, as you can see straight away, we've got problems with the cooling because that's coming in for the seawater. Unless we put our engine side on. I hope that's still up. No, it's rotated itself the wrong way around. Okay, that should be, this is basically going to be a V10 now. Okay, that should be a bit more powerful. Let's turn off the symmetry. So we're going to need a clutch one end, which straight away is not going to work. Because we're at the bottom of our boat. Never enough room. I might have to move these pipes. Because I think that's the outside, yeah, it is. Okay, that works. So we're going to need a starter. We're going to need an alternator. Just making sure the rotation is correct. We're going to need a fluid pump for our coolant. That way round, you know it's right when the drive belt lines up. Now straight away I know that's not going to be working there because that doesn't work. Let's try the starter there. Okay, so we've got our in and out for our fluid pump. It's not blocked anymore. So there are fluid pipes all over the place. That's because we were running two engines before, and obviously a different type of engine. So I don't think they're going to need to go all the way up there, are they? Let's keep them in blue. So we just need coolant in and coolant out. So let's choose the seawater again. I'll take one up there. Yeah, let's run them up. Keep them out of the way. Okay, I'm just going to get these all lined up and then we can carry on. Okay, so that's our cooling system connected up to the seawater. We've got to do our air manifolds. Let's do the air manifolds. I believe they're the white pipes from memory. Yeah, it's going to be. So it's quite close to here already. Although we're a bit congested with pipe work on that side. I like it to look sort of symmetrical, so we'll put it there and we'll put a bend on onto there. I'm going to delete that piece and that one just because I want to turn the T piece around. I'll get it the right way in a minute. Why is it not rotating how I want it to? That's it. Okay, so the air manifold's connected. we've still got to do the coolant manifold. We only did a pump, so that's not actually going into anything at the moment. So is this coolant out? Okay, fluid out. Let's get the pump done. So this needs to be connected to one of the cylinders, which I'm going to go for the closest one if I can get a clear sight. We might have to rerun the pipes again. Okay, maybe not there. Just because we're a bit congested with other pipes. So if I place that there, in fact that can go like that. It gets a bit congested in here, doesn't it, all this pipe work? So that connects one side. Okay, that's connected the cooling system up. I hope. That's it. Now what's this? It needs to go through there as well. Again, there's not much room. So it should give us access to the fluid out. Okay, that's finally connected. So it's going through the pump and the manifold. So they're both connected. So it's pumping water into our engine and back out again. Okay, happy with that. We do need to connect the two banks together. Hang on a minute, what's this? Oh, I've done something with symmetry mode on. I forgot to turn that off. Hopefully nothing else has been placed by accident. All looks okay. Right. We're going to need to do exhaust and also connect the two sides together. So I'm just going to add a bit of colour to the engine here. So also need a straight manifold piece. And now it's just the exhaust we need to connect up. So exhaust manifold. Where are we taking it to? Okay, it's miles away again. Let's take out the central one. I'm going to delete some of these exhaust pipes. Let's get the colour right, yep. When we get to the middle, it's just be a T piece. If it'll let us place it. Problem is when there's another pipe in the way, it doesn't let you place it. For some reason it's not. Let's try it this way. There we go. Just so we can see what we're doing. Right, we still need to connect to fuel. So fuel manifold. Now we've got two intakes coming in for the fuel from the tanks. We only need one. I think if we put more than one in, it'll mess up our air to fuel ratio again. Oh, it looks like we've gone too high. I actually want to change the fuel tanks as well at some point. I want to try and build a custom tank built into the ship. Okay, at the moment I'm not going to do that because I don't want to attempt too much at once. So that should be our modular engine built and set up. We could have added a catalytic converter into the exhaust, we haven't done that yet. fact, if we're clever, we could use the symmetry mode and add 2. So, for example, if we delete that one, place that in there, do these have an in and an out? I think they do, look, exhaust out. So what we need to do is just delete block next to it and check. Exhaust out, yep. So replace that. Okay, we're going to need our new microcontroller, which is, I thought I updated this. I don't know why, they're called the same thing. I've tried out several from the several of other people's ones from the workshop. As you can see, I mean, I was having trouble with them. I've got one of them to work, which I think was this one, but not very well. I'm experimenting with bilge pumps as well, that's something else I'm doing. Key throttle. I don't know which one it is, let's try this one. We definitely don't need 2 of them. I'm just going to place it down here with the engine and have a look at it. And it's definitely not that one. So let's remove that. I've just had a thought, is it just saved on the... yeah, it's not this one either. So we'll undo that. Right, what we need to do is save this vehicle as a new vehicle. Save as... I don't know, I'm just going to put boat mod engine build. And I want to load in our test lab, because this is the microcontroller we want. No, what am I doing? Yeah, this is the one I want. Actually, before we save it, let's just check on the design. Yeah, so I've done a new design. I've left a couple of spots to add things on. So we want to save this microcontroller. I'm just going to call it 300V2. Okay, back, and we'll load in our other vehicle. Boat engine build. Let's go down to where the engine was, and there it is. It's still got the same name. I need to update the name. So we place that in there. We should be able to do some logic. Everything else we already have, seat, throttle, key, etc. So hopefully we can get this hooked up. Gearbox has no power. No idea why. Anything else powered? Just double checking now. Yeah, everything else seems to be powered. We've still got a composite connected on our other old microcontroller, so really we want to remove this microcontroller. We're not going to need that one. So we've got a few more things to play with on here. Our gearboxes aren't even connected, are they? Okay, we'll do that in a minute. So we've got a starter, that's got to go to our key. We've got our throttle to the seat, WNS. Say seat is a helm, but it's the same thing. So throttle to the air manifold. And onto the fuel manifold. We need to get these powered up, so we're just going to take the signal from the RPS. So as the revs increase, they will run. Eventually I'll put something into the microcontroller for that. Radiator fan, well, we don't have one on this boat, so we don't need that. We can just leave that off. Clutch we're going to have to sort, because that needs to be done on the throttle now. So WNS at the moment is sticky because that was the clutch. Let's change that. We'll call this clutch engage. Clutch disengage. Okay, so 1 and 2 engages and disengages our clutch. WNS is going to be our throttle. So this does not need a start value anymore, otherwise it would be engaging the clutch. 20% should be about right. I'll increase that a little bit. Back onto the logic for it. So throttle up is going to be button 1. Say throttle up, clutch engage, sorry. So there you go. Clutch disengage should be number 2. And we should have a reverse gear button somewhere there. Okay, I think, let's just have one final look over. I think this should work. I don't sound too confident, do I? I'm making sure none of the settings have been reset. Okay. Let's save. No, I don't want to save the microcontroller. I want to save the vehicle. The engine build vehicle. And we're going to spawn it in. And let's see if it's ready to go. Probably got no way of knowing if we're actually using our throttle. But something does not seem to be right. So let's add in the gauge for the throttle. spell gauge right, that would help. So I think for now, should we have it? Will we be able to see it? I'll put it over here. We can always move it later. I'm not sure if that's. I think that's the right way up. Let's give it some power. Backlight, and then we go on the primary display. So let's go back to our microcontroller. We have got throttle for the fuel. It's going to be the primary display, and the secondary is going to be the clutch, which we haven't actually hooked up a clutch, have we? Or any drive system yet? Okay. Let's see if it starts first. This goes to the throttle lever, doesn't it? Because that's our clutch control. That's it. Okay. They're all connected. I'm not sure that would affect it starting though. Ah, look at the problem we've got. It's going to go straight to the outside of the boat. All we can really do is take off this bank at the back. And now we are back to a V8. One, two, three, four. Yeah, we're back to a V8. Okay, that's alright, I don't mind. So we'll take that up and we haven't got symmetry on either, have we? Well, we don't need symmetry. Let's turn it to white. Who else does this? When you press something and it places something. Happens all the time. Actually, we don't need that yet. We need to get it over here. Okay, this will get refined later on. I just want to try and get it working. See, we could have just come straight across on that point with a T-junction. Okay, that one there, that one there. And finally, the last elbow. So power system's connected up. We've got a drive system now. I'll save that again. Spawn it in. It's actually made the boat a lot cheaper, did you notice that? It's only 17,000 now. So it's actually going to save money. I don't think we connected up that gauge. Okay, it's back to it. We did connect it up. Okay, something is not quite right. Clutch. That shouldn't make any difference anyway. Input not connected. Oh, this will be RPS and temperature. I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Minimum value will be 0. And this is throttle dash clutch. Okay, so a big part of this game is like troubleshooting and working out what has gone wrong. Well, I suppose they could do with some power, couldn't they? I've connected to both batteries. Yeah, because without any power to the starter, it's not going to work. Something as simple as that. Okay, save that, spawn it back in. Fingers crossed that was all it was. Power. Obviously these are all old. The RPS and temperature are not working at the moment. It seems to be on full throttle. No, we don't. Okay, let's try it. Let's engage the clutch. Oh, we've stalled it. Okay, we're running. Find the clutch back a bit. Let's fully disengage the clutch. Okay, just a little bit of clutch. says throttle, but this is the clutch. Just try and bring them both up together. And we had the problem after 0.6, didn't we? We've got other problems now, we haven't got enough power. Our engine dies as well. Okay, so we are working. We've got a lot of fine tuning to do on this. I mean, the gearboxes might need to be adjusted as well. Yeah, so I mean, this has gone on a lot longer than I expected, guys. Sorry about that. Hope you've found it quite informative, though. This is meant to be an upgrade, but at the moment it's a downgrade. So we did a fine tuning, but that's what all testing's for. So I'm going to do some serious testing on this. Make sure everything's as it should be. Come back to you with another episode soon. Let me know what you think, guys. Oh my god, we've got a tsunami coming in behind us. Well, that's quite a big wave. How do we deal with this? Sure what we've got disabled. Normally you can hear that, can't you? Normally you get a warning siren. I haven't heard one. Oh well, we're only in a test world, so let's go and test out this wave. Do we go head on? Look at the back of the boat, how low we are. We've got a lot of weight here. And we're going to be able to surf this wave. Wow, we're going to end up on land here. Well, as long as we survive. Okay, we managed to ride the wave. I'm going to turn around. That probably wasn't the best idea, was it? Oh, there we go. And we survived the tsunami. Yeah, so anyway, before we're rudely interrupted by that huge wave, I'm going to go back and do some testing. Please do like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and yeah, please leave me some comments, guys. And we'll see you all again soon for another episode. Hopefully we'll have a much better running engine. Bye for now.